My name is John Sheridan. I'm an artist activist, and I live in Oakland, California. I'm creating this video today, July 19th, as confirmed cases of COVID-19 continue to rise in the United States. There were over 65,000 new cases reported again today, and over 2,000 deaths in just the last week. This is the sixth video I'm creating and posting to social media to raise our awareness of the nationwide and immediate need for universal COVID-19 testing and tracing in the United States. This pandemic is raging through the country, affecting every single person, every single day. It's our obligation, yours and mine, to understand as much as we can about this pandemic, and then to stop being passive, because it may mean the difference between life and death for someone you know. I said the United States had 2,000 dead in just the past week. Would you like to see what 2,000 dead in color-coded tallies looks like? Here it is. The black tallies equal 1,000, and the red tallies also equal 1,000. That is a lot of death, and we have to keep remembering almost all of it is unnecessary. Today, I am on the 8th day of a hunger strike that I began early on July 12th to protest our reckless and in fact criminal resistance to implementation of an emergency national program of universal COVID-19 testing and tracing in the United States. So far, I'm doing fairly well during this hunger strike. I'm uncomfortable and am moving more slowly, but I'm functioning well enough to continue to work to bring you encouragement to do the right thing and contact your congresspersons, your local representatives, the media, and tell all your friends and all those you are in contact with that the only way forward is to demand universal COVID-19 testing and tracing. In refusing food, I'm hoping to raise our awareness of what we are not doing, if that will help bring attention to the critical steps we as a people must take to actually put out this virus. I am tired of being afraid to do the right thing. Modern life makes cowards of us. Others, as well as myself, believe we can truly stop this virus, largely in its tracks. Donald Trump's now declaring he wants to eliminate from a Republican proposal $25 billion from COVID testing and tracing, and $10 billion for the CDC, $15 billion for the National Institute of Health, and also to cut billions of dollars from the Department of Defense and state to distribute a vaccine. This is practically genocide against our own people, when it is clear that more testing will find more asymptomatic people testing positive and remove them from infecting others. As things are now, Harvard epidemiologist Ashish Jha has said about our response to the pandemic, "We designed a horse and buggy to race in the Indy 500, and we're having a hard time keeping up." In San Quentin prison, authorities brought in prisoners already infected, and they have now given the virus to over 2,000 inmates inside the prison. 11 are dead. The spread of the virus, not mitigated at all by very hot temperatures, makes it all the more crucial that we do our best to completely eradicate it now. Universal testing and tracing is meant to save the lives of hundreds of thousands of innocent, vulnerable people who will yet die, and the many magnitudes more who will need hospitalizations. Every hospitalization costs $73,000. If you don't care, learn to care. It may be you who are saved. Here's something I was working on today. I think you can see what it is. Children at the border are still being held and separated from their parents 2 years after this was supposed to end. The Trump administration is using the possibility of COVID-19 infection to keep children still locked up and separated and away from their parents or sponsors for them already lined up in the U.S. This is an astonishing graph of the incredibly high percentage of detained immigrants in ICE custody testing positive for the virus as of June 2020. Compare them on the left against the other United States positive testing percentage. It's not even close, and it shows there is a huge rate of infection, over 50% in U.S. border detention camps. People, we've got to move forward, and as individuals and as a nation, make everyone's welfare as important as our own. We have to think of universal testing and tracing as possible, and not maintain a defeatist attitude. Let's rouse ourselves from our decadence, complacency, and can't-do attitudes. Visit my website at universalcovid19testing.com or locate me John Sheridan, on Facebook or Twitter and see what we can do together to stop this pandemic. You must believe we can beat this if we try. If enough of us demand action from our government, we can force its hand, make it do the will of the people, and crush this virus. We need to use all our tools and all of our wits, but we won't prevail anytime soon without demanding and getting universal testing and tracing.